All right, standard 6C. You're going to be able to assess the impact of the English Civil War and the Glorious Revolution on democracy. So, Parliament limits the English monarchy. What is a parliament? Parliament is a body of representatives that makes laws for a nation. And in this case, it is England. So during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, there was a lot of conflict between Queen and the Parliament. The Treasury did not have enough money to pay for the Queen's expenses, and she wanted to raise taxes. So how did the English Civil War start? So after Queen Elizabeth died, the English Parliament was determined to gain more control over national power. What are the results? In the short run, there's going to be a struggle between the crown, which is the king or queen, and in this case it will be the king, and Parliament. And it's going to lead to an English Civil War and the execution of King Charles I. In the long run, it's going to lead to a stronger Parliament and more rights for the English citizens. All right, James I. So this is going to be Charles I's daddy. He believes in divine right. That is that theory that God granted, in this case, the king, the right and the power to rule absolutely. He's going to anger Parliament with his excessive power. He's going to raise taxes. He's going to stop the war with Spain. He's going to threaten Puritans. And he will have his own version of the King James Bible written in English. All right, so James I has a son. His son, Charles I, is going to come to power. He is very similar to his father. He is also going to oppose Puritans. He's going to have public whippings. He's going to burn Puritan writings. And it's going to lead to what's called the Great Migration. And this is when the Puritans are going to leave England and go to the Americas seeking religious freedom. All right, actions that led to the English Civil War. It is this belief in divine right that God granted the king or queen, and in this case the king, the right to rule absolutely. King Charles I, he's going to try and raise money without Parliament's consent, without their okay, without their approval. He's going to allow troops to go stay in people's homes to set up shop, so to speak, to stay there for a while. He's going to put areas under martial law. And this is the big one. He is going to suspend Parliament for 11 years. So, there are going to be two sides to this war. You are either a Cavalier or you were a Roundhead. Cavaliers are pro-crown. They are for the king. These are the king's men. All right. They're going to dress pretty much like this picture on the field. They are not going to look like soldiers in a war. They're going to dress really fancy. These are Cavaliers. They are for the king. The other side of the war are called Roundheads. These are people who support Parliament, and they're going to be led by Oliver Cromwell. If you take a look at this picture, in this picture, the gentleman is wearing a helmet, and the helmet is very round at the top, and that's supposed to give them that round head shape. Also, a lot of them had that bowl cut, that haircut, where it was kind of rounded. Also gave them that name, the Roundheads. Roundheads are supporters of Parliament, and Cavaliers are supporters of the crown, the king. All right, 1642 to 1646. The war lasted 4 years. So if you do the math, 1646 minus 1642, 4. All right, the Cavaliers are going to surrender. So what does that mean? The Cavaliers surrender. That means the king lost. King Charles I. He is going to be found guilty of treason. He is going to be beheaded, which means off with his head. Parliament, as soon as Charles I is beheaded, Parliament is going to gain control of England. And the person who is going to be the head is Oliver Cromwell. And he's going to give himself the nickname Lord Protector. All right, the aftermath. Well, Cromwell's not going to live forever. He's going to die in 1658. He's going to have a son. His son is not going to be able to maintain control. Parliament decides to restore the monarchy. And they are going to go to Charles II, who is the son of Charles I, and appoint him to the throne. But it's going to be a little catch. Charles II is not going to be an absolute monarch. He is going to be what is called a constitutional monarch. He's going to have limited powers. So we are going to have representative government, and the individual rights survive. All right, the restoration of Charles II. So Charles II, as soon as his daddy, Charles I, was beheaded, he had been put into exile in France. So when England offered him the throne back with limited powers, he went ahead and accepted. So this is known as the restoration of Charles II. He was restored to the throne in 1660. England's government is now going to be under Charles II. He has a nickname. He is known as the Merry Monarch. He loves to party. He loves to have fun. Every day he is happy-go-lucky, big partier, wonderful. He is not going to have an heir to the throne. He is just going to get so tied up into partying and having a good time, he's going to forget to have a child. So, Charles II, constitutional monarch, it's where his powers are limited by a constitution. All right, so like I just said, Charles II had no children, no bambinos. So when he dies in 1685, who else is going to take the throne except for his brother, his Catholic brother? His brother's name is James II. He is going to become the King of England. We're going to have big problems here. Many people in England feared that James II was going to turn England back into being a Catholic country, which meant you had to be Catholic or else. James declared his absolute power, and he did not acknowledge Parliament. So this whole constitutional monarchy thing that his brother had just did, he threw it out the window. He is going to be an absolute monarch, just like his father, Charles I, just like his grandfather, James I. People of England are going to be very upset. So, William and Mary. James II had a son. James II's son was going to be raised Catholic. He's going to be the heir to the throne. So the people of England are now really scared. It's going to happen. He's going to turn England back to being a Catholic country, and his son is going to continue. So the people of England had encouraged James II's Protestant daughter Mary and her husband William, who was the King of the Netherlands, to invade England and to take the throne of England from her father. William and Mary are going to accept this. They're going to head to England. James II heard that his daughter and her husband were coming to take the throne from him. So James II got a little scared, little chicken, and he's going to run scaredy cat all the way to France. He was afraid he was going to lose, and he was going to be executed just like his father, that he was going to be beheaded. So William and Mary gained the rule of England. This is called a glorious revolution because they said they were coming to take the throne from James II. And James II ran away, little scaredy cat. Because William and Mary were able to gain the throne of England without any bloodshed, this is known as the Glorious Revolution. No blood was shed. They walked in, took the throne, and William and Mary happily accepted the power of Parliament, and they were constitutional monarchs. Hooray! All right, we are going to establish political parties. They are factions or groups that held a similar set of political beliefs. So an example of political parties here in the United States, we are known as being either Democrat or Republicans. Are there other political parties? Yes, but the two major ones are Democrat and Republicans here in the United States. The two political parties in England at this time period that you need to know, you were either a Whig or a Tory. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the English Civil War in a very small nutshell. We are going to be doing a few activities regarding the English Civil War. We're going to watch a quick video on the execution of Charles I, and you all are going to be quizzed on this. So, I'll see y'all on the flip side.